David Jones lived a mostly ordinary life. To others he seemed unremarkable. He kept a 9-to-5 job, rented a modest flat, and filled his weekends with the usual pastimes. Yet beneath that ordinary surface there was something unusual about David, something even he had never suspected. One evening, while David sat in his living room reading a book on quantum mechanics, a subject that had long held his curiosity, he felt an odd tug at the edge of his awareness. At first he blamed tiredness and put it down to fatigue, but the sensation would not fade. It grew firmer, more insistent, until he could no longer ignore it. Without warning, a shaft of light surrounded him, and the familiar room dissolved into a rush of color and shape. For a fleeting moment he felt weightless, as if detached from reality, and then he found himself standing in a completely different place. The chamber around him was enormous, filled with strange glowing instruments and walls that pulsed as if alive. Before him stood beings unlike any he had seen in his imagination. Tall, slim figures with extended limbs and large, curious eyes that flickered with intelligence. David's heart hammered as he realized he had been taken aboard an alien vessel. He felt fear, but he also noticed no hostility on their faces, only deep curiosity. One of the beings moved forward with calm, fluid motions and spoke directly into David's mind, its voice resonant there rather than in his ears. "Greetings, David Jones," the voice said. "We are members of the Galactic Intelligence Center. We brought you here to run a test we perform across the cosmos. We study the limits of intelligence, and your species has drawn our attention." David's fear eased and gave way to wonder. "A test?" he asked, his voice small in the vast space. "Yes," the alien replied. "We will evaluate your reasoning, problem-solving, and abstract thought. The procedure is harmless and quick. Will you consent?" Curiosity overcame apprehension. David agreed. The aliens guided him to a sculpted chair that shaped itself to his body. Lights and soft tones filled the room as the assessment began. He felt a gentle probing of his thoughts and memories, each idea examined with precise care. Time lost its meaning in that strange environment. Minutes might have stretched into hours. When the lights finally dimmed, the same alien who had first addressed him returned, its expression one of astonishment. "The results are extraordinary," it said, its tone edged with awe. "Your intellectual capacity far surpasses what we have seen. Your intelligence measures at 1,000, an almost unheard-of level in the known galaxy." David staggered at the revelation. He had always thought himself bright, but this scale of ability was beyond anything he had imagined. "What does that mean?" he whispered. "It means," the alien answered, "that you possess exceptional potential. Such intelligence could unlock cosmic mysteries that even our most advanced civilizations have not solved. We must study you further to understand your mind. Through you, we may gain insights beneficial to all sentient life." As the weight of their words settled, David realized his life would change in ways he could not foresee. The ordinary man from Earth had become a figure of significance across the stars, a beacon of possibility that might shape the future of many worlds. At the Galactic Intelligence Center, David's days filled with examinations and experiments, each one venturing deeper into his mental landscape. The aliens worked with care, their techniques exact and refined. They used machines David could scarcely comprehend, instruments that seemed to interface directly with thought and memory. They presented puzzles and challenges that escalated in complexity, all meant to test the outer limits of his cognition. Despite the intensity, David found the work exhilarating. His mind widened with each challenge. He welcomed the chance to learn and to grow. The aliens remained considerate, ensuring he was comfortable and well looked after. One day, while wrestling with a particularly thorny problem in advanced theoretical physics, David experienced a breakthrough. A concept that had baffled even the brightest minds on Earth suddenly fell into place for him. He shared his revelation with the aliens, who listened with rapt attention. Their reactions confirmed his growing conviction. His intelligence was not only exceptional in capacity but also marked by a rare ability to perceive connections and patterns others missed. The leader of the team, who called himself Zor, approached with a proposal. "David," he said, "your contributions have been invaluable. We believe your perspective can help solve some of the universe's greatest mysteries. We invite you to join the Galactic Intelligence Center and work alongside our finest minds." David was startled. He had never imagined leaving Earth, much less working with extraterrestrial scholars. Yet the opportunity was irresistible. He accepted, and his life shifted in a new direction. Working with the center, David helped pioneer discoveries. He collaborated with researchers from across the galaxy, exchanging ideas and learning from their knowledge. His unconventional way of thinking led to numerous advances, from improved methods of interstellar travel to fresh insights into the fundamentals of reality. One of his most notable achievements came when he proposed a new theory about the nature of dark matter, a mystery that had long puzzled scientists across civilizations. David's theory proposed that dark matter wasn't a single substance but a layered interaction between multiple dimensions. His idea ignited fresh lines of inquiry, producing a surge of research that deepened scientists' understanding of the cosmos. As David's renown expanded, so too did his duties. He was summoned to advise on critical matters, from diplomatic negotiations between alien civilizations to plans for exploring remote star systems. His unusual perspective often produced solutions others had missed, earning him widespread respect. Despite his achievements, David kept his humility. He remembered his roots and frequently thought of family and friends back on Earth. With his new influence, he pushed for improved understanding and cooperation between Earth and the broader galaxy, hoping to narrow the divide between his home world and the interstellar community. One day he received a message from an old colleague, Dr. Emily Carter, who had learned of his work and wanted to reconnect. David was delighted and arranged for Emily to visit the Galactic Intelligence Center. She arrived awed by the center's advanced technologies and the variety of beings she encountered. David and Emily spent hours catching up, trading memories, debating theories, and exploring recent discoveries. Emily was especially keen on his dark matter theory and asked him to walk her through the details. Their conversation reminded David how much he had missed the intellectual fellowship of Earth's scientific circles. Emily's visit rekindled his desire to share knowledge with his home planet. He proposed to Zor that the center send a delegation to Earth to exchange ideas and foster cooperation. Zor agreed, seeing the clear benefits of such an endeavor. The delegation's visit became a historic moment. Scientists, diplomats, and leaders from across Earth gathered to meet the aliens and learn about their technologies. David played a central role in organizing the exchange, using his position to bridge cultural and intellectual gaps between the two worlds. The partnership produced rapid advancement. Earth researchers gained access to new methods and tools that accelerated their work, while the aliens benefited from Earth's novel viewpoints and inventive problem-solving. David Jones had once seemed ordinary. He'd kept a 9-to-5 job, lived in a small apartment, and spent weekends on familiar hobbies. Yet beneath that ordinary life something remarkable had always been possible, something even David had not known. One night, while reading a book on quantum mechanics in his living room, a subject that had long intrigued him, he felt a subtle tug at the edge of his awareness. He blamed fatigue at first, but the sensation persisted, growing firmer and more insistent until it could no longer be ignored. Suddenly a shaft of light wrapped around him, and the room dissolved into a swirl of color and form. For an instant he felt weightless, detached from reality. Then he found himself in a vast chamber he did not recognize. The room held strange luminous devices and walls that seemed to pulse with life. Before him stood beings unlike any he had imagined. Tall, slender figures with elongated limbs and great, curious eyes that glinted with intelligence. David's heart raced. He realized he had been taken aboard an alien craft. Though fear rose, he detected no hostility, only intense curiosity. One of the beings glided forward and spoke directly into his mind, its voice resonant there rather than heard in his ears. "Greetings, David Jones," the voice said. "We are agents of the Galactic Intelligence Center. We brought you here to conduct a test we administer across the universe. We study the bounds of intelligence, and your species has attracted our attention." David's fear eased into wonder. "A test?" he asked, his voice small in that expansive place. "Yes," the being replied. "We will assess your reasoning, problem-solving, and abstract thought. The procedure is painless and quick. Do you consent?" Curiosity outweighed fear. David agreed. The aliens guided him to a chair that formed to his body. Lights and gentle tones filled the air as the test began. He sensed his mind being probed, each memory and idea examined with exacting care. Time blurred in that alien setting. Minutes might have stretched into hours. When the lights finally dimmed, the first alien returned with an expression David could only call astonishment. "The results are unprecedented," it said, its voice tinged with awe. "Your cognitive capacity exceeds anything we have encountered. Your intelligence reads at 1,000, an almost unheard-of level in the known galaxy." David reeled. He had always thought himself bright, but this scale of ability surpassed his imagination. "What does that mean?" he whispered. "It means," the alien answered, "you possess rare potential. Such intelligence could unlock mysteries even our most advanced civilizations haven't solved. We must study you further to understand how your mind works. Through you, we may gain insights that benefit all sentient life." The aliens explained that David's mind could unlock mysteries of the universe that even their most advanced civilizations had not solved. They needed to study him further to understand the workings of his intelligence, and perhaps gain insights that could benefit all sentient life. As the weight of their words sank in, David realized that his life was about to change in ways he could never have imagined. The ordinary man from Earth had become extraordinary in the eyes of the galaxy, a beacon of potential capable of shaping the futures of countless worlds. David's days at the Galactic Intelligence Center were filled with tests and examinations, each probing deeper into his mind. The aliens' methods were thorough, precise, and highly sophisticated. They used technologies David could barely comprehend, devices that seemed to interface directly with his thoughts and memories. He faced puzzles and problems that grew increasingly complex, each designed to push the limits of his cognitive abilities. Despite the intensity, David found the process fascinating. With each new challenge, his mind expanded, and he embraced the chance to learn and grow. The aliens treated him with respect, ensuring his comfort and well-being throughout. One day, while tackling a particularly difficult problem in advanced theoretical physics, David experienced a breakthrough. A concept that had eluded the greatest minds on Earth suddenly became clear to him. He shared his insights with the aliens, who listened intently, confirming what David had suspected. His intelligence was not just raw cognitive power but a unique ability to recognize patterns and connections others could not. The team's leader, Zor, approached him with a proposition. "David, your contributions have been invaluable. Your perspective can help solve some of the universe's greatest mysteries. We invite you to join the Galactic Intelligence Center and work alongside our brightest minds." David was stunned. He had never imagined leaving Earth, let alone working with beings from other worlds. Yet the opportunity was too extraordinary to refuse. He accepted, and his life took a remarkable new direction. His work with the center was groundbreaking. Collaborating with scientists and researchers across the galaxy, David shared his insights while learning from theirs. His ability to think outside conventional frameworks led to numerous breakthroughs, from advances in space travel to a deeper understanding of reality's fundamental nature. One of his most significant contributions came with a theory about dark matter, a substance that had long puzzled scientists. David proposed that dark matter was not a singular entity but a complex interplay of multiple dimensions. His theory sparked a wave of research, expanding humanity's understanding of the cosmos. As his reputation grew, so did his responsibilities. He advised on matters of great importance, from interstellar diplomacy to the exploration of distant galaxies. His unique approach often uncovered solutions others had missed, earning him respect and admiration across the galaxy. Despite his successes, David remained humble. He never forgot his roots and often thought of family and friends back on Earth. Using his influence, he promoted greater understanding and cooperation between Earth and the wider galaxy, aiming to bridge the gap between his home planet and the stars. One day, David received a message from an old friend, Dr. Emily Carter, who had heard of his achievements and wanted to reconnect. Thrilled, David arranged for her to visit the Galactic Intelligence Center. Emily was awestruck by the advanced technology and the variety of beings she encountered. The two spent hours catching up, discussing past experiences and recent scientific developments. Emily was particularly intrigued by David's dark matter work, asking him to explain his theories in detail. Their conversation reminded David of how much he missed the intellectual camaraderie of Earth. Emily's visit reignited his desire to share knowledge with his home planet. He proposed to Zor that a delegation from the center visit Earth to exchange ideas and foster collaboration. Zor agreed, recognizing the benefits of such an endeavor. The delegation's visit became a historic event. Scientists, diplomats, and leaders from around the world gathered to meet the aliens and learn from their advanced technology. David played a vital role, bridging cultural and intellectual gaps between the two worlds. The collaboration led to unprecedented advancements. Earth scientists gained access to new technologies and insights that accelerated research, while the aliens learned from Earth's unique perspectives and innovative approaches.